Alright, we're going to jump right into it. I'm here late at night re-recording this because I recorded it once, tested before and after, and everything seemed fine. And as the gremlins go, I went to listen to this, and lo and behold, it's an hour with no audio. I don't know how that happened. The mic seems to be picking up now. If this doesn't work, I might just go to bed. But I wouldn't do that to you all. I'd like to provide you with some music. So, without further ado, make sure you navigate to your class's music page, to Music Elective Lesson 8. And as you will see, the video will go here as normal. This was an interesting poll or a survey done by a company to see what types of music people were currently listening to at the time. And these were the top 15 most popular genres, 13, something like that. And you notice that these percentages, if you yourself zoom in on this, add up to more than 100. That's because you can respond with all the types of music you currently like to listen to. Several types you go between. So let's get right into this. What's going to happen is I need somebody in this class to hit play on the video, and I'll start a 2.5-minute timer. And I would like whoever has a decent computer with speakers to turn it up and let the class listen. At 2.5 minutes, I will cut you off, and we'll be done with it. While we are listening, we will write down the number. This is number 1 we'll start with. The name of it. The first one, of course, will be Rolling Stones. If you would, make sure to make a Google Doc that you can share with me at the end of this assignment. And you don't have to copy all this down. You can just start with this. Number 1, Rolling Stones. So you have a Google Doc. Name it, first initial and last name, then music genres. That's first initial, last name, music genres, because you'll be sharing it with me at the end of this class. And this is roughly what we'll be doing for each song. I'm going to talk you through these the way that I would do them. If the tempo, speed of music, if I'm like, that's a brisk jogging tempo or some weird thing like that, you can call it whatever you want as long as it makes sense to you and describes it adequately. The instruments, I'll help you with that. What instruments do you hear? Remember that voice is an instrument, clapping is an instrument, that'll come up. What mood the music is, or how you would describe the general feel of the music, that's fine too. The style of music I'll give you, that's the genre. But you just follow along, don't stress about it, it'll be fine. And last but not least, you guess how old you think the music is. I'm not going to tell you. I'd like to see what you guys think. So, we will start with the Rolling Stones. I will listen to it through my headphones so that my video doesn't get flagged. And I will start a timer. And we are off. Somebody in the class be the designated person. For the Rolling Stones, I Can't Get No Satisfaction. Go ahead. So the Stones are playing for you guys as a class. It's the Rolling Stones is the name. It's rock is the style or genre. It's more of an upbeat tempo. Instruments, I hear tambourine, voice, guitar, specifically electric, drums. There's a bass snare. There's a little bass line down below. I'm going to call this excited. That's the mood. And how old do you think it is? You can guess the year. You can be like, I think it came from 2035. No. All right, we're going to move on to number 2, which would be pop music, but so many things that are individually very different styles would fit under pop. So we're just going to do those individual things. Pop is too broad of a category to ever really do, I think, unless you have a specific type of pop you're looking at. So we're going to go on to country. Lots of people are familiar with modern country. We're going to look at George Jones. He stopped loving her today. This is not old country, but I would call it classic country. So start our timer. Go ahead and hit you some play on George Jones. Easy ballad, not ballad. It's got harmonica. Drum set. Country fans, I'm sorry, but I would argue the only difference between country and a lot of pop music nowadays is it has a slide guitar. You go, oh, that sounds like a nice pop song. And you go, no, oh, that's a country song. Country is in a really weird poppy sort of place right now. Not all of it, some of it's still pretty country. Mixing it up to slow ballad. Easy and reflective. It's loud. All right, number 3, we're going to go ahead and hit reset and start. Number 3, R&B. Stevie Wonder, For Once in My Life. Check that out. Someone hit play on that. I'd say a pushing tempo. It feels like it's going faster than it is. It's like cars that are really low to the road. It just gives that effect of acceleration almost, of speed. Pushing tempo. Some strings in the background. Backup vocals. Optimistic excitement. You're almost picked some Jackson 5 for this, for Michael Jackson to start off as a kid. It's pretty cool. It's like a what do they call those? They're little piano, no, little piano key things that use reeds like a harmonica. All right, we're going to start it and move on to the next one. Next one is a very significant change of pace here. Going on to rap, we have Gangsters Paradise by Coolio. Go ahead and hit play on that. Steady, moderate tempo. So there's a string section. I call this urban blues. I like to think of a lot of rap, early rap, not really West Coast, but like early rap was really just blues, but in the city, more of an urban feel. Clipboard just scared the heck out of my cat. That hurt. You can come back. I think I'm going to do Scout's hair here like Coolio's. What do you think, guys? All right. Go ahead and stop that one. Up next is going to be, I believe it's Easy Listening. This is Miss Nora Jones. And she is definitely easy listening. I got to see her one time at the original Grand Ole Opry, the Ryman Auditorium. They have a bigger place now. They moved out of there. Very, very smooth music. So let's listen to some Nora Jones. Here's the timer. See, now if you threw a slide guitar in right here, you'd call it country. Call it smooth pop folk. You make up your own thing for what you think the style, or I'm sorry, the mood is, the music. Oh, there's a flute right here, right at the end. Look at that. Of course there's a flute. All right, we're gonna move on to hip hop. Hip hop, and we're gonna be using the instrumental version, unfortunately, but instrumental, for Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5. Hip hop and rap have a lot of overlap. A lot of times it's hard to separate the two. But Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, this is called The Message. And unfortunately, there's some lyrics I can't use, but it's such a good song. I also looked at Rapper's Delight by the Sugar Hill Gang. Every time I get off the off-ramp at Sugar Hill Road, I think of the Sugar Hill Gang and Rapper's Delight, which I'm pretty sure I'm the only person. Hopefully you'll start that up too. But anyways, here's Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5. I'm going to hit the start on this hip-hop. Least you can hear a beat. To imagine rapping over the top. This is New York City, late 70s, I think. Back when New York was a really dirty city. Synthesizers like an electronic piano that can sample all sorts of different sounds. It synthesizes other sounds. That's a whole other music physics lesson in itself. Claps. There would be vocals, but right now we just have the beat. We should have a rap competition. You guys could hop right in here. Slow, little glass breaking sound there, little sound effects. I think it's impossible to walk down a hallway with this music playing around you and not like have a nice slow strut down the hallway. All right. We're going to roll on. The next one is electronic dance music. Oh, I forgot the last couple things on this one. Real quick. I'm going to call it a fat beat. That's going to be the style. That's all it is right now. And when do you think it was? I kind of gave it away, though I told you earlier. Number 7. Let's go ahead and crank up Sandstorm by Darude. Electronic dance music is the music of the clubs. A lot of it's done by DJs live, sampling things. Used to have actual records on turntables. Nowadays, it's all loaded in, but there's still they still got like turntables that are not actual records, but it's all programmed in. Electronic dance music, EDM. Upbeat, synthesized everything. It's the instruments, it's all synthesized. Thus, electronic dance music. Pump you up music. There's a teacher in the room. Maybe you know the old sketch Hans and Franz. We will pump you up. That's what makes me think of it when I hear this. When you say year or when you think this came from, it's hard to deny that this is somewhat modern, especially when it's so cleanly mixed. The sound is nice and crisp, so you know it's got to be more recent. Wonder what's in the briefcase. Guess we'll never know. All right, so moving on. Next, we got some straight up jazz. The black and white video will help you figure out when this came from, and also the next one for blues. This is Oscar Peterson, famous jazz pianist, playing the C Jam Blues, which is still performed a lot today. Our jazz band did it a couple of years ago. Their own version. It obviously didn't play this one. But that's Oscar Peterson and the C Jam Blues. Let's go ahead and hit start on that. Go ahead and play the video. That's a quick blues tempo. Definitely piano, bass. The guy's playing that upright bass. You can see it. Some very light drums. Snaps and taps. I think jazz a lot of times kind of feels like it takes you somewhere. It feels like it's going on a journey. It goes through so many different keys, key changes and chords, just constantly. I'm going to say it feels like a journey. That's the mood. And when do you think this comes from? What years? By the way, jazz developed, you could say, jazz as we know it from earlier 1900s all the way till today. People are still innovating in jazz. Just like American music goes through decades, jazz has also gone through decades, particularly strongly from the 20s on through the 60s, 70s. It's more or less leveled off now. You also hear that Oscar is singing along with his playing. That's a common jazz thing. A lot of times you'll get an instrumentalist playing something, and you'll have a singer who all they do is sing, but they'll start singing along with the performer on like a saxophone or a piano, sometimes even drums. They'll imitate the drums. So up next, we're going to move to the blues. And this is Lightnin' Hopkins, Baby Please Don't Go. A lot of times I like to think that things like hip hop and rap and jazz are the inner city version of the blues, essentially. What the populations that would be playing those musics, the people who would be drawn to that sort of music in the city went towards jazz and hip hop and blues. In the country, jazz, hip hop, and rap, but in the country tended to go towards the blues. Kind of like you have more country music being enjoyed outside of major cities. So, Lightnin' Hopkins and Baby Please Don't Go. Go ahead and hit play. Steady, moderately quick. Blues. Just a guitar and a singer. You could say singer, vocal. I'm going to call the mood a folksy lament. Look that word up. What year do you think this was? By the way, a quick note on the blues. A lot of people unfamiliar with the blues, I've heard a common sentiment or idea that the blues are because somebody's sad, so you sing the blues. Sometimes that's true, but the bigger thing to know about the blues is performing the blues is almost like therapy. It makes you feel good. You go, I got a lot of problems, and I'm still happy, essentially. Sorry, the cat almost turned off my computer. That's what they do. They scratch you and they turn off computers. Kind of like kids sometimes. But no, the blues, I've never seen a blues musician come off a stage and be like, yeah, I'm just depressed. Or they might have problems, but the blues is their highlight. It's a good day. So we're going to hit start. We're going to go on to the next one. Moving to classical. Classical encompasses orchestral Western European music from 1600s all the way till there's still modern stuff being performed now or being written that's very different. So go ahead and hit play on that. Mozart's Symphony Number 40. This piece is really famous because it has a lot of forward motion to it. It's always leading right to the beat. It pushes to the beat every time. Let's say orchestra. You hear some wind instruments. So we'll say, there's a wind section. Winds and strings. Winds would be like all woodwinds and brass. Brass or wind instruments. I would say this piece is slightly all over the place in terms of mood. You can pick out spots that seem darker, that are more exciting, that are calm, that are happy. I'm going to put many moods in a very short period of time. What year do you think Mozart could have composed his Fourth Symphony if he was alive during the 1700s? So hopefully it's in the 1700s that your answer exists. Ah! That was startling. I apologize. All right, so we've got opera, metal, reggae, folk, and mariachi, and we have like 4 minutes. Yikes. Okay, we'll do this real fast. Number 11, go real fast. So click on opera. Usually it's performed on the stage, kind of like a musical, except this is what came before. Super dramatic, long evenings of lots of emotions, but this is being done on stage just to showcase the music. Pavarotti is extremely famous. Sheryl Crow recorded a lot of popular music, but is also classically musically trained. That's why she's in this. She got the train-ins. Type as much as you can. It's okay. All right, that was fun. I'm going to chop down on time. My first recording, I got through everything at about equal amounts of time. It's pretty good. But it is late and I'm a little tired, so that's what happens. Metal, click on that one. So Metallica, in this case, he's performing, they're performing with an orchestra, I believe it's San Francisco. And they do this whole album with an orchestra, which is out of the ordinary for them. But a lot of their normal stuff I couldn't be presenting, so we have orchestra. A lot of bands with black t-shirts are going to be metal bands. Pantera, Sepultura, stuff like that. Stuff that I'm clearly not playing for you today. All right, so you get a little taste of metal in there. We'll move on to reggae with Bob Marley's No Woman No Cry. Bob Marley is clearly the best known reggae performer. Reggae coming out of Jamaica. There it is. There's like a synth in there. Drums, vocal, backup vocals, bass. Chill, very chill. I once bought like a 6 CD set of Bob Marley because it was on sale, and I realized you don't need 6 CDs of Bob Marley, in my opinion. You could listen to a couple of his songs on repeat, and it's pretty similar. Now, if you're a purist and you really get into reggae, you might be angered by that statement. But I don't know enough about reggae to care. I like it, but whatever. I do enjoy some reggae. Next, we're going to go on to folk music. Pete Seeger's Which Side Are You On? Go ahead and hit play on that. Oh, this is a protest song, by the way. Directed towards rights for miners, people not young people, but people mining in mines. Better safety standards. To this day, we still have accidents in mines and stuff. But he's saying, hey, the guys who own everything, the rich guys, it's not cool. They're thugs. They don't help us. They make us work and they don't pay us. All right, we're going to move on because we are like out of time. Again, sorry my previous recording didn't go through. That kind of made my day weird. But yeah, we're going to close out with mariachi. Up above on the charts it says Latin. But Latin has a lot of stuff in it. One of the most unifying things in Latin music is some of the rhythmic things that they use. Of course, cultural norms as well. Cultural similarities, not norms. But I just picked mariachi because it is from the overall genre of Latin. But I think it's really interesting stuff. So go ahead and play on the mariachi. I don't know how to spell guitarron. If you speak Spanish and you know, please tell me later. All right, so this has been the FCS portion, the first 40 minutes. I wanted to get that to both FCS and West today. West, we're going to do some practice on some of our other skills now. FCS people, I hope you have a wonderful day. But we're going to roll on with my West peeps now. So, let's get back on some of this. We're going to go back here. If you would, I'll change it up a little bit. Ooh, headphones off. That feels so much better. Right here. Okay, so we're going to do some circles. One direction. Really, really look that you're circling it out. You're getting that full extension. Switch other direction. Now I want you to try something weird. I want you to start in this position, and I want you to start by coming apart, kind of an oval. and then start to circle it out if you can. So I want you to think of starting here. Which, in essence, if you can do them both equally well, nobody would know the difference as to which one you were doing, except for where you start, but it still does weird things to the brain to start that way. So that's a fun one. We have square, triangle. So on your own, go ahead and put triangle in one, square in the other. And once you get to the end, hopefully you're pretty good at it now, you're just going to come back together when you get there, and you're going to switch to the other side. So you're going to switch. I have to have that visual. I imagine a triangle and a square in front of me so that when I switch, boom, now I've imagined the other thing. I change pictures in the air in front of me. Go ahead and practice for just a moment. Cool. Moving on. Bass clef is next. Let's do some treble clef. So on your page, if you would find in music lesson number 8, we have line and space notes in treble clef. This is some quick practice. I'm going to give you guys like, I don't know, a minute and a half. I know you're thinking, Mr. Ballard, this is easy. But after seeing the quizzes the other day, it's easy for a lot of people, but there's some that still need some love on this. So I'm going to review real quick. We have space notes and line notes. That is a space note. It's in the space face, F-A-C-E. Every good boy does fine. It's a line note. Every good boy does. It's a D. Every good boy does fine. It's a B. Every good boy does fine, so it's a D. That's a space note face, F-A-C-E-F. Cool, I'd like you to take a minute and a half. Rock it out. Go. Awesome. It's like stopping the microwave on 1 second. That's right. Cool. So get out of this. Bass clef, pitch ID. Bass clef is very important. Lots of instruments use it, as well as the piano using both treble and bass clef. If you want to play piano, you got to play them both at the same time. It's treble clef, bass clef, and you read it all together. So, line notes in bass clef. We did this briefly yesterday. Good boys do fine always. Good boys do fine always. So it's an F. Again, we're going over this together for a moment. Good boys do fine always. 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 Cool, so you got a minute and a half. I would like you to practice these. And go. This is Boba, by the way. Named after Boba Fett. I'm showing you all my Star Wars things today. Space opera, by the way, is what they call it. There's a lot of reasons they use opera to describe it, but we'll move on. So, that's treble clef line notes. Bass clef line notes. Good boys do fine always, right? Let's head back to the space notes. Speaking of space, here it is. Space notes are going to be all cows eat grass. Go back and watch my video again if you need to. It's on yesterday's lesson, elective lesson number 7. You can see it there. So, all cows eat grass. 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 You can also think of it like the word ace, but with a g on the end. Ace g. That's not very catchy. All cows eat grass. All cows, so it's C, eat grass. You have a minute and 30 seconds. I wish you luck. Sweet. Hopefully that went well for you. Good thing about pitch ID and treble or bass clef line or space notes for either one is I have videos. If a lot of this stuff you can go to YouTube and look up John Ballard, and I have a playlist called Music Theory Videos or just Theory Videos. And there's treble clef pitch ID, there's bass clef pitch ID, which is linked in 7, and all sorts of other things that can help you out with that. So check that out. Let's do a little bit of rhythm. Let's get out of that. Rhythm practice. We're going to set it to, this doesn't track right anymore. Mode A. We're going to leave it on fast, but do put the beat highlight on. So A, fast on, pie, apple, huckleberry. And this one is strawberry, strawberry. So it'd be strawberry pie, strawberry pie, strawberry pie. In band class, we'll get chants like that going back in the rowdy days when people were in classrooms together. Strawberry pie. Sounded like a cult. Oops. So watch me for just a quick minute before you start. Da da da. Strawberry. Right off the bat. Oh, and then 3. That's weird. That's strawberry. Strawberry. That one's weird. Huckleberry is definitely first. Strawberry, huckleberry. Let's try it again. Huckleberry, strawberry, huckleberry, strawberry. That one's hard. As a matter of fact, before I turn you guys loose, let's turn this down to slow. I regret that. So now we're back on slow. And now you guys take your time with it. Pineapple, huckleberry, strawberry. Cool. You guys have, I'll give you a minute and a half. Go ahead. That's live. Okay. I'd like you all to pull you up some BB King. Play up some BB King and the virtual drummer. Get this off to the side. You probably need it in 2 different, whoa, don't do that. 2 different windows. So again, you're going to play along with BB King. Drummers have a phrase called playing in the pocket, which means you're like, it feels like it's speeding up, but it's not. And if you can play in the pocket, you're probably pretty awesome. Let me make sure this is all working. Yeah, okay, it's cool, so it works. I would like you to play along with some BB King and really rock it out. Give you guys 2 minutes for this ish. So play your own video of BB King, please. Yep. Cool, so we're like right at 59 minutes or something like that. We got through pretty much the activities I wanted to rock out today. You've been exposed to a lot of different genres today. There's a lot of really cool music out there. Do continue playing along with some virtual drumming. Make sure that you're feeling good about treble and bass clef. And we'll be in good shape. Have a great day, and I will see you on Wednesday. Yeah, for lesson 8. That's what this one is. Bye.